Hi Laura, let's see what you did with your new set of essays. This is about the benefits and disadvantages of online translation apps. Here's what you wrote. The issue of whether web-based language translation apps have a positive or negative impact on people's lives has been increasingly debated. Personally, I believe that their positives outweigh the disadvantages because these apps could offer easy access, low cost, and wide availability, which may favor tourism and even business. Lovely, I like that. On the one hand, it can be argued that using websites or mobile applications to translate from one language to another could be rather inaccurate and lead to misunderstandings in communication. This is mainly because each language has different grammatical structures, idioms, and even style or tone that cannot be translated literally. For example, recent studies by Harvard University showed that more than 60% of online translations were false or inaccurate due to grammatical differences and use of jargon, singular here. Therefore, it could be said that translation apps could lead to miscommunication due to their literal translation of words. Okay. There's a problem here. Let me tell you what it is. Advantages, the benefits, and the disadvantages. So according to this, you've essentially said that there's just one disadvantage. That they're inaccurate and they lead to misunderstandings. And this whole paragraph has dealt just with that. So it looks like you haven't really fully answered this portion. Okay, I want you to keep that in mind. When it says disadvantages, they do in fact want you to talk about more than one. Okay, let's take a look at your next paragraph. Although there is a case for inaccuracy and even errors when using online translation apps, their benefits cannot be neglected. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, they could be a handy solution for travelers that do not speak the local language, and ultimately this could encourage international tourism. Secondly, similarly to the effect on tourism, the business industry could benefit, as web-based translations have lower costs and wider availability than, not that, official translation services used by some companies. For example, recent governmental research has revealed that since the advent of Google Translator and similar online resources, the number of non-English speaker tourists, or non-English speaking is the right word really, honestly, has increased by almost 30%, and travelers for business purposes in the UK has equally gone up. Thus, it's possible to state beyond doubt that decreasing the language barrier through online translators, tourism, and even business can be positively affected. Okay, here you developed this better, although I can't say I love that you just used the same support for both of these. Where is it? Okay, here, yeah, you said that it could encourage tourism. I think that you should have just added a piece of support right there. Okay, so tell us how since the advent of online translations and online translators, ticket sales to international destinations have increased fourfold, or I don't know, something. Okay, and then you could have done everything else here. But I do think it's in your best interest to put the support directly after the idea that it's supposed to support, okay? All right. However, beyond that, I thought it was nicely written. It was good. So, in conclusion, even if online language applications could be sometimes inaccurate and unreliable, if these apps continue developing and working on their database to improve these issues, they could benefit not only the tourist industry, but also other businesses. All right, that's a complex sentence. It's good. You did it really accurately, very nicely, so well done. Consistent with this line of thinking and based on the reasons stated, I strongly believe that the positives of online language applications are greater than the drawbacks. Okay, good. So here's the thing. You did some really advanced things with your grammar, and those were definitely in your favor. You did well with them. You did them accurately, so that's very positive. For me, the big problem is that this was underdeveloped. Okay. Not like band 5 underdeveloped, but it's definitely underdeveloped. You didn't talk about disadvantages. You really only talked about one disadvantage. Here you did a better job of that. But something like that is not going to get you into one of those like top 3 high level scores for task achievement. Okay, so keep that in mind. I really want you to pay attention to these plurals in the task. And then here, there was just that little thing. I really wanted you not to just kind of lump together your support, but I wanted you to give each of your main ideas support. And that's really in your best interest for another reason as well, because remember I said that you're supposed to talk about benefits plural and disadvantages plural. Well, if you only have one piece of support, then you don't want the examiner to think that, well, maybe there's really just essentially one main idea here. Because again, then you have this problem with, the fact that this is asking for plural benefits. Okay, but some nice writing overall. Good job, and let's take a look at your task 1. Okay, so the pie chart shows a breakdown of the popularity of 7 different subjects, be history, mathematics, physics, biology, geography, and IT in German schools in 2017. Overall, it is possible to say that the most popular subjects among German students were physical education and history, while the least favorite was IT. Additionally, the difference in percentage between the top 4 subjects was minor. All right, that's not really part of your overview. I wouldn't include it in there. You could have left it out, okay? Maybe you were concerned that you didn't have enough, because this is one of those really simple charts, and so maybe that's why you did it. But it doesn't really belong in an overview, okay? Because then you're getting into some detail here. All right, let's see. Looking at the details, the most popular school subject in Germany was PE at almost 23%. Surprisingly, there was not a considerable difference between the top 2 subjects, as history had 22.4% of the popularity. Following these 2 subjects were mathematics and physics with 19.5 and 18.1 respectively. Now, a lot of people do exactly what you just did, but what you're missing here is an opportunity to really expand this and to really kind of stretch it out so you're getting into that 150 word minimum. I would not have put these 2 together, okay? Essentially because you do want to stretch this out. Now, I actually did do a word count. This is at 146 words, okay? So you needed to take every opportunity to really kind of extend this and draw it out, really, okay? So this was one place where you could have done that. Where'd it go? Okay, so following these 2 subjects was mathematics at 3 percentage points less than history at 19.5. Okay, and then what you could do is maybe you could say I don't know, do a little math if you want. And then you could have also said rounding out the top 4 most popular subjects was physics, right? Yes, physics with 18.1%. And then you could maybe say that these 4 top subjects accounted for, what is it? I have to do some math here, don't I? About 80% of the overall popularity, or whatever that figure is, okay? So you could do something like that, and these are things that really kind of stretch it out and give a little analysis to it, okay? So, on the other hand, with figures below 1 in 10, biology was popular only among 7.1% of students, and around 1% less preferred geography. Okay, that's a fine way of doing that. IT had the lowest percentage of the year at only 3.7%. Now, another thing you could have done here is you could have then had one kind of last statement here about how, what kind of a difference there existed between the most popular subject and the least popular subject. So if you take a look at it, where is it? Here it is, right? 23. Okay, and this is, so it's like a 7-fold difference, okay? So that's the kind of thing that you can do here as well. And if you looked at this, you could see that this figure 3 is kind of predominant, and then you've got like that 6% for geography, you've got this 7% here. So you could have also said that this is only about like 1/3 of the top most popular subject, okay? So you could have done stuff like that, all right? And this helps you extend your answer a little bit and also make some meaningful comparisons, because the instructions usually say something like make comparisons where relevant. So that's something you could have done. Your language was good, the grammar was good, the vocabulary was good. I didn't have any issues with anything about that. I thought you did very nicely. But like I said, it did need a little extension. Okay, and I know that these don't have a lot of information are rather hard to extend, so I'm hoping that the feedback today gives you some ideas on what you can do and how you can extend these types of diagrams a little more. All right, so go ahead and correct these. Let's see another set from you, and we'll be waiting for them. Okay, good luck.